What would you do if you and a guest were invited to a party, but at the last minute the party's host said you couldn't bring your date? Well, if you had any loyalty, you would decline the invitation, unless you were so totally desperate to please that you threw out your own self-respect and your friend. Which brings us to the case of a trip by Canadian parliamentarians to China. Candice Bergen, the Member of Parliament and Conservative House Leader, she was denied a visa to travel to China with the rest of the group. I'm not that surprised. She says she wanted to talk about human rights in China with officials there. China denied her a visa, but granted it to all the others from Parliament, all of whom went without her, except for one fellow Conservative MP who stayed back in Canada in solidarity. The trip was in August. Bergen wrote to the other MPs and senators who were going on the trip about her situation before they left. But they all ignored her. They all stayed silent. They all submitted to China's outrageous demands. Imagine China being able to pick and choose the Canadian delegation going to visit it. Obviously, they would pick and choose the most compliant, the most submissive, and keep out anyone who might ask questions about Chinese human rights or Chinese industrial espionage here in Canada or even China's unfair trade practices. But really, are you surprised?
There's a level of admiration I actually have for China because their basic dictatorship is allowing them to actually turn their economy around on a dime.
Justin Trudeau says China is his favorite country, and he specifically mentions their dictatorship. And John McCallum, Trudeau's ambassador to China, he says he'll sign pretty much any trade deal the Chinese put in front of him.
Within 24 hours of arriving in China, I was invited to present my credentials to President Xi Jinping, and I conveyed to him a message from our Prime Minister that can be summarized in 3 words: more, more, more. Or in Mandarin, gengdua, gengdua, gengdua.
So we're selling out our democracy. We're undermining our own elected MPs. We're humiliating ourselves. We're agreeing to something the Chinese would never agree to themselves. But hey, what a payoff for Canadians, right?
We're quite proud. The Prime Minister has been given a fond nickname in China. He is called Tudou, which I believe means potato, and I can't say the Chinese word, it's Xian Tudou, little potato.
Little potato. Isn't that worth it all? For the Rebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant. Oh, we've got a great fall lineup and shows. Go to the Rebel.media/shows.